This is my 11th year to have the honor of representing Arkansas in Washington. I have never done a post office naming bill until this one today. And I wanted to just share with you a little bit how this came about. I had actually was asked by a group of folks to go see the cemetery where Scipio A. Jones is buried. And this is about, a year and a half ago or so. And the cemetery has been struggling, as many of you know that live in the neighborhood. It has not been as well maintained as we have all wanted it to be. And some of us talked, it occurred to me, if we called attention to some of the very significant people that were buried there, that perhaps that would gin up a little bit more the commitment to that cemetery. Well, Scipio A. Jones was buried there, and I suggested to my staff, James Savage. Where's James? Oh, that's me. That's not the post office. I apologize. I suggested to James Savage on my staff that let's do a resolution, a House resolution honoring Scipio Jones. And he came back to me a few days later and said, why don't we consider naming a post office? I'm going to take, I think we got it. Why don't we consider naming a post office? And I thought that was a great idea, particularly when we did the research and found out where he had lived and his association with the Mosaic Templars Association. And since the closest post office was going to be in the old Safeway where I used to shop when I lived at 21st and Scott, I thought this is going to be great. I used to come in here to get my cheese and bread and milk. This is what I remember. Remember this? You remember when it used to be a Safeway? Yeah, that's where we'd shop when I lived a couple blocks from here. Well, I thought that was a great idea, and that's how this came about, to call attention to a very significant man in the history, not only of Arkansas, but in legal history. A man that a lot of us Arkansans, we've heard the name because it's such an unusual name, but we don't know much about him. We thought this would be a great way to honor this great man, and we are so pleased to have the family here today also.